was it?
Rivkin and Fee and Cav, and then Aiden was behind.
Aiden, yeah. Aiden was behind at that point. He was like, I would say, probably like 5 seconds or something like that behind. And then like Fee, Rivkin, and Cav had like, they were racing. Almost.
Do you have the video already, Keenan?
I have the video. What do we want to look at?
I think they were racing the most of it. And then Cav, I think there was some traffic also in front of Cav or something who he hit. I think it was.
So I have 2 incidents here. I have the Cav and I have the Rivkin bump incident, Cav bump incident, and I also have the incident between Ogden and Mechanic that people were debating, but I think Ogden was in the right. So you want to go through that first, and then we can have a look. I'm going to put this full screen so we can get.
There was also some problem with traffic.
So here's the incident between Ogden and Ethan Mechanic, and I think Ogden's okay here personally.
No,
yeah,
he's
I mean,
not.
Really? Look how far out Mechanic was.
I mean, that's
go back.
That's not the line for that corner.
All right, I'm not disputing that, but
he's going like, if he would have carried that speed, he would be on the dust on the left.
Yeah.
But that's where Mechanic was.
No.
What?
Yeah, he was offline and had to come back in.
That's not offline.
He's fucking sideways, dude.
You need to go a bit wide.
Look at Keenan. Look at the car who comes behind Ogden. I don't know who that is.
That's Ashton Abdul.
That's correct.
So look. Yeah. So this is the quarter.
Okay, I see that point. What you guys are making.
Okay, this guy is sideways. Yeah, I get that. But he's still on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Look at where Ashton comes in. Ashton comes in pretty much exactly same line as Mechanic.
Yeah.
He's just not sideways as he lands.
And I mean,
look how Ogden just T-bones.
But now, Keenan, listen this. If you are offline on this track, you are in the dust.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that 100%. So actually,
that was
Mechanic
Ogden. That was Ogden just being like thinking what he would drink that evening. So he forgot for a second that he's driving the race, and he was like, "Oh shit, the corner went that way," and he went straight into Mechanic. That was
actually a very good battle in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
if Ashton Abdul was battling with those guys, huh?
Not that corner. He wasn't a good.
Well, you know what? if you want to talk about takeouts, Mechanic took out Ashton Abdul too, and in that same race. So I don't take any sides. I'm just saying. I'm not taking sides.
I'm just saying what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I retract. I thought that curl was okay, but I don't know.
That's kind of like, you could do that into any 180 that has a jump after it. You could shoot in full speed where the guy in front is squaring up. You could do that in any 180. And if you hit the wheels of the guy who's in front, it's not going to look that bad. But I mean, it's still like a takeout.
All right. Well, let's look at what I think was truly takeouts here.
Yeah, this is with so here we have Wilson in second, Wiggins, Rivkin, Fee,
let's
and
go
Cav.
back. All right, so
I don't know, like, because we were speaking before we started recording with Pekko, well, the three of us. Fee very rarely takes people out.
I know. Well,
So
he said in his interview,
he
said in his interview, his dad said to keep on going. So here we go. Here's the Cav incident. Hold on, do I not have the collision one? Slow it down. Okay, sorry. This is Rivkin and Fee.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a takeout.
Yeah, that's a takeout. People's like, well, he slowed down and this.
No,
nah.
That's a takeout. If you're under someone's swing, it's a takeout.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at it.
I think people go with the full speed for the first collision.
Okay.
Go way back. Yeah, let's look at it full speed. Because the thing is, if you're driving on the highway and you rear end someone, you're not like to the other guy, like, hey, you slowed down, you have to pay my insurance fee. Like, it's the same on the RC track.
Yeah. I mean, this I don't get, because he could have done like aggressive pass there in the 180 after the double.
I think what Fee did here. Go a little bit back, Keenan. Like replay the whole thing. Can you slow it down from the video player?
I cannot, but it has a slow motion thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's play the whole thing. But I think what Fee tried
he could
here
have.
is, yeah, I think what Fee did is he saw that Rivkin went wide, so he tried to undercut him. So you know when the cars go into 180, and he tried to like Rivkin go wide and he would cut inside. And then this other one, this is just a regular takeout, you know.
Yeah, that's
Just like
I would
too
say
fast
he
into
made
the
a
corner.
he made a small
Yeah.
mistake.
Just look at here.
Coming in too fast.
Rivkin is going wide and Fee is squaring in here. So Fee, I bet that in his mind, he's like Rivkin is on that line that Rivkin is now. He has to go wide. Like there's no way he's gonna make that corner in a fast pace. So he has to go wide basically to keep up the speed. So Fee in his head is like, okay, so there's gonna be a space on the inside that's gonna open up. So he tries to keep fast speed up and go to the inside, but Rivkin instead protects the inside. So in that scenario, the car in the back needs to see that the car in front is protecting the inside and switch the approach to go to the outside, you know? But obviously, Fee was too aggressive here in the initial phase of the overtake that he didn't have time to do that. So he went all in that Rivkin is going to go wide, but he didn't do that. So
Dude.
and then Rivkin cost the track too.
He did. I bet you Rivkin was pissed off. The Cavalieri. Okay, so this is collision one.
Let's just don't
play
touch anything. Just play it. Yeah. So the first one, pretty much exactly like I said. He takes him out because he wrongly estimated what was going to happen. Rivkin smartly protected the inside, but Fee took a big risk there. And then the second one, Fee just overjumps it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was this like he got nervous because he touched Spencer and lost focus? Or what was this his line? Like did he run like jump this really long? It looks weird. I don't know, but
yeah.
But to be honest, like if I was his mechanic, I would just say keep going, and if you get a penalty, you get a penalty. I've absolutely like on that section of the track, you don't wait. Like you can't wait on that section of the track. You can't see it back there, and it's a high speed like a left-hander. So like especially on this one, you don't wait. The other one he could have waited, but this one you don't wait.
Yeah. And I mean like the way the racing is in US, you never wait.
Yeah, because the thing is that I think
Europe,
like
I think waits.
Yeah, but I think even in Europe, people should never wait, but they should get the penalty. Because if you take someone out, it's like what I told about Sontag. Like he waited, yes, but in the middle of the fucking track, so people crashed into him when he was waiting. So like, and even the waiting thing is that for example, the Rivkin when he cut the track. So let's imagine Cavalieri was not in the equation. And Rivkin cut the track and Fee let him back by. At the end of the day, like they wouldn't lose any time, but they made a crash because Rivkin cut the track. So the waiting is kind of it's not the fair way to go by unless it's like there's just two cars on the track and you two are fighting for the win and you touch the car in front and everyone else is like half a lap down. Then you can wait because then the race continues. But other than that, I think the waiting is silly. You just like you wait for the penalty that comes.
So people raked Ongaro over the coals for what happened at the e-buggy Euros a few weeks ago. Right. And we examined that and we saw what he is looking for. I kind of get why his dad told him to go, right? But what is the moral thing to do? I kind of agree with you on that point. Where like let it wait and let it be into the name of the judges. But then we have to start bringing in video evidence, and we're not going to catch everything on video, right? So
no, but that's the thing that if these drivers wait, what's the point of having judges? And the judges don't get practice. So what happens is then when someone doesn't wait to win the race, and the judges doesn't see that because he's on his phone because he doesn't have to actually look at the race. That's the issue. Is you have to there has to be a need for the judges in general. So then we get an idea of how to referee these races. And then the penalties have to be harsher. Like if you take someone out, you have to lose more than the car that you took out did. I think that's that should happen. Then people will watch out taking people out. But if you can just take someone out and then wait and then go again, you actually benefit from that in most scenarios because the car in front, his car was on his roof. He has to get back into his rhythm. You can get to attacking him straight away. So I think that's why even morally, it's better not to wait. Unless you absolutely know that no one saw it, then I think it's just like cheating in a sense.
I find it funny that everybody was pissed off at Ongaro, but nobody's really talking about this besides us.
Yeah, well, I guess I think,
and I like Fee.
US. Yeah, it's the US. People like Fee, and Rivkin is a hack. So
well, that's
yeah. So I think like that tells you the whole story.
Well, his dad chimed in on the live stream and said that's revenge for all the things that he's done.
Yeah,
and I believe that I said this on the live stream. I'm not. You can't see everything as a referee, but Stitson does a damn good job of doing that. And I've said this over and over again: is that man should be training people how to referee races, right?
Exactly.
And I think if Raw just added maybe another member to the RMT to just do that, there would be more eyes on the track, and these type of incidents would stop. And I have nothing wrong. I know I love American racing. It's Rubbin is racing and Elbows is out, but that was a bug. Like that was a fucking takeout. Like two of them.
Yeah.
And if I'm those drivers, I'm pissed off. And it's kind of bad for Fee because I don't think he's a dirty driver, but I think he's just under pressure. And in the end, he kept on going and he didn't get the penalty. So it worked out for him. And all three of these guys made the finals. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it isn't right. But that comes down to having proper referees and enough eyes to see that type of stuff. Yeah. So he got away with one. He got away with two. Right?
Yeah, but you know that is exactly the reason why he got away with that is because people usually wait. So now that he didn't, he got away with it, and like that's the issue. Like when everyone waits, you get a huge benefit from not waiting. But when everyone gets a penalty, you can't do anything about it because it's not in your hands. You know, that's why you should always just drive, and then the penalty comes.
You know what? I think that's probably the best advice. And I would also say that this is the only race in the USA that they actually race with referees, right? Or a person dedicated to find this type of stuff.
For sure.
So
you'd imagine someone would get a stop and go for that, you know?
I think
actually there were people who got stop and goes. I was like, what? There is referees?
Well, okay, here's a battle question. If this was at a European Championships, this would have been a stop and go, right? Or a penalty added to afterwards?
Yeah.
He would have gotten 2 stop and goes for that.
He would have got 2. Yeah. All right, I'm good with that. I don't want to. I like Fee. He's young. We don't want to fucking scar him. You know.
Yeah.
He did what he had to do, and he made it into the final. But I find it funny because
I think the first one, I think he got surprised.
I think so
I
too.
think in his mind, he thought that the gap in the inside would open up, but Rivkin was smart about it. Well, in hindsight, not smart about it, but like in that situation, that's what you do. You square up so the car inside, you don't get the inside, you protect the line. The second one was just this, you know, what is it now? CTO, BTO, OTO, what's this? PTO? Fee takeout?
BTO?
What's BTO?
Bump takeout?
Yeah, bump takeout. Yeah. That was a little bump in the ass of Cavalieri. So
and Rivkin, to be honest. That was a big bump.